Hi everyone. Today in math, we're going to do something a little bit different. We have two things that we're going to do. The first is called a checkpoint, and it's kind of like a quiz where you're just checking in with yourself to see what you know and letting me know what you know. Um, it's really, really important that you do this work all on your own. So just like when you're taking an assessment, if you don't know how to do something, you should just write, I don't know. Please don't get help from anyone because then I'll think that you know it when you actually really don't. So this is work that you're going to do on your own. And I would recommend, I'll read the questions one at a time. And what you could do is listen to the question, then pause the video and scroll down to the slide, do the work, then go back up and listen to the question again. Or you can read all the questions and do them. This is not something that is in your student book or your Home Connections book. So this is something that you will have to do online. If you handwrite any of your work, you can add a picture to it. But the first 4 slides in this deck are the checkpoint. So I'd like for you to work on this by yourself without any help from anybody else. When you're done with that, there will be a slide at the bottom. It'll look sort of like this one, and it will have another video on it with the lesson for today. So you're going to watch 2 videos, one with me reading all the questions in your checkpoint, and then another with the lesson. So make sure you listen to the second video because that's actually the important teaching part of today's lesson. So let's get started. So on slide 2, number 1, you're going to think to yourself, you're pretending that you're playing round ball tens. You use the spinner and make the number 75. Your partner says you can fill the basket for 70. Do you agree with her? You're going to answer yes or no in this box. I wonder if I have a pointer. Here. B says, explain your answer. If you agree with your partner, explain why. If you disagree, explain why. So you're going to be typing some words in this box. You can pause and go do this work on slide 2 and then come back and unpause. Or you can just listen to me the whole way through. Number 2, later you are playing round ball hundreds. You have only 2 baskets left to fill. The basket for 300 and the basket for 500. You pick 3 cards with the following on them: 5, 9, and 3. So remember that with round ball hundreds, you're making a 3-digit number, and you're trying to and in this case, you're trying to round that 3-digit number to either 300 or 500. So you're going to organize these numbers and then say why you chose that. So which number are you going to make? And then you're trying to fill this basket or this basket. So you can, when you figure out which number, you can move this little circle on top of the number you chose. Oops, where'd we go? And then again, you come down here to where it says why, and you say why you chose that number. It might be something like, I know that this number rounds to hypothetical 300 because, and you give the answer. So you can pause and go do that, or you can just keep listening. Number 3, round each number in the table below to the nearest 10. So let's get that highlighter, or that nearest 10, nearest 10, okay? So actual number 54, you're going to round that to the nearest 10. So remember, you have to look next door. 4 and below, what do we do? 5 and up, what do we do? Number 4, round each number in the table below to the nearest 100. So these numbers you're going to round to the nearest 100. You can pause or keep going. Number 5, Eloise and Alex are collecting worms for their fishing trip. So far, they have collected 63 worms in all. Alex collected 34 worms. How many worms did Eloise collect? They've collected 63 worms in all. Alex collected 34. How many worms did Eloise collect? So, which of the equations below does not represent this problem? So the letter W stands for Eloise's worm. So which one is not correct? This is a little tricky. You're going to drag the circle over to the one that you think is not correct. Which one could you say does not work? You're trying to figure out how many worms Eloise collected. You can pause the video and do that. Oh, well, I guess solve the problem. You're going to figure that out. And then you're going to figure out how many worms she collected. And says use a method that is more efficient than counting on or counting backward by ones. So if you can, show your work here how you figured out how many worms Eloise collected. Pause the video, do the work, and then when you come back, we'll do 6. On a recent clear night, Sam counted 136 stars in one part of the sky. Max counted 178 stars in another part of the sky. Max estimated that they counted about 300 stars in all. Sam estimated that they counted about 400 stars in all. Whose estimate is better? So here you're going to write either Max or Sam. Then use rounding to explain why the estimate you chose is better than the other estimate. So using your rounding skills, rounding either to 10 or to rounding to the nearest 100, say why you chose Sam or Max here using rounding. And then how many stars did Sam and Max actually count in all? So here you're going to actually do the work. So use a strategy that is more efficient than counting on by ones, because that's a lot of counting. And then you're going to say how many they counted in all right here. So you're actually filling in, I'll get the little highlighter, I'm liking this in here. You're going to say whose estimate is better. Here you're going to explain with rounding why you chose that answer. Here you're going to do the actual problem, and here you're going to put the answer. And that's it. So once you're done with that, go ahead and click on the next slide with my lesson video. Remember, please do not get help for these first 4 slides. Thank you.